Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm not sure which camera I'm looking at, but good morning to every camera and every beloved. Hello, hello. My name is Reverend Leslie Goodwin. I'm one of the senior ministers here at New Vision Center, and I want to add my personal welcome to everyone who is participating in this service today, all through time and space. Welcome and happy Father's Day. Wow, what a crazy, wild, loopy week and month we have had. And before I launch into my talk, there are a couple things I have to say, oh my gracious, to. And the first one is June is Pride Month. And we have been so caught up in dealing with COVID-19 and masks and race issues that we haven't had the chance to really say, Happy Pride, everyone that's part of the LGBTQIA plus community, and everyone who is an ally or beloved of someone who is part of that community, including myself. Happy Pride. And what a fantastic week it has been for Pride, with the Supreme Court upholding the employment rights of members of the LGBTQIA community. It shouldn't have needed to be said, and yet it got said anyway, and yay, yay, yay. So if you are new to our community, or you just don't know this about us, we consider ourselves radically inclusive, and that means we not only accept, but embrace and celebrate all of our members, no matter what is going on with us, including having a non-cisgender identity or being really any way of expressing in the world. So happy, happy Pride. It also, well, depending on who you are, it either was yesterday or is today, summer solstice. So if you celebrate Litha, blessed be. If you just are really into astronomy, yay solstice. If you just want to have a campfire, here's a great excuse. So woo! And it's Father's Day. And it's Father's Day. You know, it really doesn't surprise me that so many religions have leaned into the idea of God the Father and defined God as masculine. In our teaching, in our intention to balance things out and topple the patriarchy, we sometimes go overboard on the other side, right? Really emphasizing and embracing the feminine aspects of the divine. And that's wonderful. And there are powerful masculine aspects of the divine that we are doing ourselves a disservice if we don't allow ourselves to anchor into them as well. And when I think about it, I think of, you know, what do we want from Daddy? Like, really, what do we want from Daddy? Put yourself in the mind of the 4-year-old. What do we want from Daddy? We want to feel safe. We want to feel guided, like we will be helped to know what to do. And we want to know we're loved. And doesn't it make sense that so many people across the universe think of God as the Father, the protector, the provider? It makes a lot of sense to me. And so, while I don't lean into that concept exclusively, I really do like the phrase that Dr. Michael Beckwith uses quite a lot, which is Mother, Father, God, because it balances those energies. But today is not about balance. Today's about dads. Today's about men, masculine energy. And I want to make sure that I'm very clear here when I say masculine energy. I don't just mean men. We all have a masculine energy and a feminine energy within us. And our culture trains us to subdue some parts of ourselves and elevate other parts of ourselves. And in this talk, I'm going to invite us to lean into where in our experience, as well as where in ourselves, do we find these positive qualities of masculine energy, masculine givingness in the world, because it is there for all of us. I would be remiss if I also didn't say, while we say it's Father's Day, that the act of fathering is transcendent of the role of biological father. And I in no way mean to take away from the role of biological father. I think it's amazing. And I think we've all experienced playing out these fathering roles for people who are not our biological children, as well as receiving these acts of fathering behavior from people who are not our biological dads. In truth, there are people participating in this talk right now who grew up without a father or grew up without a positive experience of a father. There are people watching or participating in this service who have never been a father but have definitely fathered, be they a stepdad or an uncle or a close family friend or a neighbor or a scout leader or a little league coach or a youth church teacher. There are so many ways for us to engage in these positive, masculine, divine traits out in our world as well as in our own heart. And so even if you think this talk supposedly isn't for you, let's try to open up that consciousness and see what's in it for us anyway, because we all have been there in one way or another. So now I'm going to start my talk after all that. Our talk today is called Fatherhood, a Love Without End. And I really want to play with this idea of fathers and God the Father, and how very related they are in these masculine attributes. The first one I want to talk about is guidance. I don't know that I've ever said a prayer that doesn't have in there somewhere asking for or affirming and knowing that I am divinely guided to perfect right action, whatever is going on, right? And I want you to put yourself back in the mind of that 4-year-old again. And you need to make a decision. Is it going to be soccer or Little League? Is it going to be Jamie or Michelle? Big news on the kindergarten playground. Who's getting married on any given day, right? And what do? Who do you ask? I don't know about your life, but in my life, I asked my dad for a lot of advice. A lot of advice, to the point that he may kill me for telling this story. When I met the boy in high school who was to be my first husband, and I just really liked him. I just liked him. He was cute. And he did not seem to know I existed. Can you imagine? And I just wanted this boy to like me. And at our school, we had, Valentine's Day was a big deal. And we did singing Valentines, and people passed cards around, and you could buy lollipops and have them delivered to classes, that kind of thing. And so my dad helped me write a very bad poem to send to this boy for Valentine's Day. And I kept saying, but what if he doesn't like it? And his answer was this: then you'll know. And you can move on. Either he likes you or he doesn't. And then you'll know. Well, he married me, and we were together for 14 years. So I guess the poem worked, Dad, and then I knew. How funny is that, right? Even when they don't ask for advice, because they don't always, it turns out they're paying attention. They're watching what we're doing. There's a song in the play Into the Woods that children are always watching. And we know this because one by one, independently, my 5 children, my 2 biological children and my 3 stepchildren, have approached my husband, Bobby, and quietly let him know that their expectations and their behavior in relationships is based on what they learned watching how he treats me. All 5 of them have absorbed that guidance, whether or not it was actually given. Harry Truman had an interesting idea about how to advise, how to guide children. He said that his best idea was to find out what they wanted to do and then advise them to do that. And then at least they'll know, right? Dads have a lot of wisdom. The men in our life have a lot of wisdom. And they're very happy to share. I know a few men in my life that really like to be right. Perhaps you have experienced this. But what I have found about the best dads, the best fathers, the best guidance, is that there is this level, which is learning to give advice and teaching them how to take advice and how to lean into advice. And then there's this elevated level of teaching them to know that at the heart of themselves, they already know. Teaching them that that guidance is indwelling. So there's, yes, you can always come to me and ask, but that divine masculine is built into your beingness. And I will always support you in that. Do you feel the difference? The best fathers and father figures I've known have always taken it to that higher place. Ernest Holmes said in Living the Science of Mind, Reverend Karen's favorite, spirit is at the center of each of us. To it, we may come for guidance, and from it, we may draw both inspiration and the power to live, stand, walk, or sit. But everything is coming from that highest, and it's right where we are. The depth of that guidance will carry any child wherever they wish to go. The second thing I think about when I put myself in that child place is security. Dads make us feel safe. There's a reason there's a trope about the little kid coming home from school with a black eye and trying not to cry, and he got into a fight on the way home from school, and he goes to dad, and what does dad do? Mom screams and cries about, I can't believe you got into a fight on the playground. That's what this mom did. And what does dad do? He teaches him to defend himself. He teaches him how to stand up to a bully. He teaches him how to feel safe. And feeling safe in our world is essential. We don't feel brave enough to go after our goals and dreams if we don't feel like we're physically safe or financially safe or that our health is safe. It's essential that we feel secure. I know when I feel really yucky in my physical body, I want to talk to my daddy about nothing. Just talking to my dad makes me feel safe. So we have this place where dads and dad figures teach us how to stand firm in front of that baseball and not step back when the pitch comes close. We learn how to balance our checkbooks and handle our money and own it when we've screwed up so that we can get help. And we learn how to be secure and how to be safe. But the best dads take it one step further, helping us learn that inherently we are always safe and provided for by the very energy of the universe moving through us. That it's not just their presence and their skills that teach us to be safe, but that there is this energetic good that we call God, that we call spirit, that is always where we are. And again, the founder of our teaching, Ernest Holmes, said about this, the security I'm talking about is the kind that not only warms the heart and makes the mind glad, but also feeds the soul. We belong to God. There's that within us which will last forever. There is no other security. But there is that which in us that will last forever. That confidence that allows us to stand on our own and begin to pass on those fathering aspects to the people who come to us. Because we have confidence in it. We have confidence in the natural security of the world. The third thing that comes to me when I think of being little and wanting my dad or wanting my grandpa is unconditional love. Unconditional love. Love that doesn't go away when you screw up. Love that doesn't go away when you really, really won't take your nap. I was not a napping kid. I was more of a napping kid than my sister, though, who hid a spoon. This is a true story. Hid a spoon between the side of her bed and the wall. And every day during nap time, she was digging into the wall with her spoon, like she was trying to tunnel out of the house. And after quite a long time, we rearranged the furniture, and there's this big gap in the drywall because Lindsay was trying to escape nap time. And yes, they all still loved her anyway, though poor thing is like 40, and we're still telling this story. It's easy to love a little one. They're so squishy and funny and sometimes naughty. But most of the dads I know don't have a hard time just yumming them up when they're little. As they get older, new challenges arise, right? But the best dads I know, when they're right here giving their unconditional love and approval and high regard, take it to that higher place to recognize that the universe itself is love. To know, yes, I love you unconditionally, but you don't have to look outside of yourself for approval, because God itself, the universe, is love. It never runs out. It's never gone from you. It's always there. George Strait said it in a very sweet way, and it doesn't matter if he's talking about human daddies or the big daddy, universal daddy, when he said daddies don't just love their children now and then. It's a love without end. It's a love without end. And I know when I take my needs to God, it doesn't always make sense. Like in English, I know what I mean, but I don't always have confidence that the infinite intelligence of the universe is going to think what I have to say is terribly important. And I think maybe it looks something like this video.
Okay. They need to work on that, right? Yes, okay. Did you understand it though? No. Okay. All right. Huh? Oh, no, not this one. This is the grand finale of this. Yeah, that's the last one. That's what I was wondering. I don't know what they're gonna do next season because they did some stuff this time. Exactly what I was thinking. Oh yeah. Right, don't bring that again. You know what I'm saying? Don't do the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was thinking that, yeah. Yeah. Like, go somewhere else with that, but don't bring it here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I said. And then it was like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what in the world? But don't do it here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Really? I thought the same thing. We think a lot alike, huh? Oh, that's crazy. Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it looks like when I try to talk to God about my problems. But what you see there is the same thing we see in fathers and the Father. That dedication to connection, to understanding, to unconditional love, to making sure that we know that we're secure, and to giving us that beautiful guidance. As a final thought, Ernest Holmes shared this with us in Spiritual Awareness. I think it's truly what the best dads leave us with. Because God is, I am. Because love is, I am protected. Because goodness is, I am safe. Because abundance is, I am prosperous. Because happiness is, I am filled with joy. So this Father's Day and every Father's Day, I invite us to look to the highest love, the divine Father aspect of God in ourselves, in one another, and to recognize when it has been given to us by that sweet Father within each of our beloveds. And so it is. And so let us take that into prayer. I speak a word of blessing, of beautiful and sweet blessing over every father and everyone who has fathered, over each beloved that is spending time with their father today, or thinking of their father today, be it sad or happy remembrances. I invite us to remember each masculine aspect and behavior that has supported us in our growth and development. And what I know is that Mother, Father, God, that masculine energy is right where we are all the time. It is never too late to have a wonderful father. It is never too late to be a wonderful father. And so I know that which is needed for that to come forth, healing, love, generosity of spirit, kindness, forgiveness, is all right where we are. I trust that the peace that passes all understanding supports us in moving forward in ways that are powerful and meaningful for ourselves and our beloveds. I know it's easy because it's always been the truth, and I call it good as we say, and so it is.